Hi, this is Nate Dredge, and today I am going to be going over my blog, easyadoption.home.blog. I'm excited to talk about it. What we're going to talk about, I'm going to start out talking about some market research, the why behind the adoption blog, why I decided to do an adoption blog, the market, the general market, and then get into our target market, the target. Breaking down the psychographics and the demographics. And then I am going to show you my blog. We'll start out with the how-to video and then show you the rest of the blog. Just give you a little tour around some of the pages and the widgets and sidebars. So let's get right into it. Okay, so starting out with the why behind the adoption blog. It really started several years ago. It was 7 years ago to be exact. My wife and I were just about to go to bed and decided we wanted to start having children. It was kind of came up at the same time and we were both excited about it. Well, over those 7 years, it's been quite a journey and definitely not what we expected. We experienced our first miscarriage really early on. We were able to get pregnant on our own. Which was really the first time that had ever happened. And we got pregnant and had a miscarriage at about 15 weeks. And then after that, we tried for a couple of years and couldn't get pregnant on our own, so decided to explore different infertility treatment procedures. So we did a lot of different things, spent a lot of money out of pocket, and we're trying to explore just about every avenue we could, really outside of adoption. And then one day I was at work. It was about 2.5 years ago. My brother-in-law gave me a call, and he told me that there was a young girl going to UVU at the time who was pregnant and looking to place for adoption. Well, we went to dinner with her. My wife went to lunch first, and then we went together as a couple to dinner. And to make kind of a long story short, she ended up choosing us to be the parents to a little baby boy. And it was just a few months after that we legally adopted our son Levi out of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. But during that time, it ended up being a private, independent, closed adoption. But during that time, we had a lot of bruises and bumps in the road and different experiences that really taught us how to do it. But instead of going through an agency and spending a fortune, we saved a lot of money by doing it on our own. And so we both realized, man, this is something that we could show others how to do. This isn't that hard, and we want to show other couples looking to adopt how to do it without spending a fortune going through an agency. So that's why I decided to do the blog, and that's what we are focusing on in the blog. I say we, meaning my wife and I, because it's of both our interests, even though I'm the one running the blog. Okay, so the market overview. These are the 6 things that really describe the general market that we were after. So you have the private independent adoptions versus private agency. We will obviously be focusing on private independent and why it's superior to private agency or less expensive as well. Domestic versus international, we'll be focusing on domestic adoption. And then open versus closed adoption. We'll talk about those two in the blog. That's discussed on one of my blog posts. But we're focusing on that total general market is really where we're putting our efforts. And then the target market, or the target. So we're focusing with demographics. We're going to be focusing on females ages 25 to 35. I did a lot of research online to find out really which blogs and what traffic was going to those blogs and who was commenting on those blogs. I decided not to show it in my slides because I felt like that would take up too much time. So I thought I'd just explain it that. I did a lot of social media research, and you'll see that in my blog plan to determine what our target was. Psychographics, really it was anyone that had a desire to raise a family, any female between the age of 25 to 35 that wanted to start a family. Focusing on adoption, but people who are exploring other avenues to starting a family. Okay, let's go to the blog itself. Okay, we'll start out. Let's go to the how-to video. This is my latest blog post, so it's right at the top, so let's go ahead and play that.
Hi, my name is Nate Dredge with easyadoptions.home.blog, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to get started with a private independent adoption. Now, the key to doing a private domestic adoption is having a great team. When you pay for an agency, what you are really paying for is access to their team. An adoption team consists of 3 key components that are necessary to a successful private adoption: a lawyer, a social worker, and a counselor. In some cases, the social worker can also act as the counselor. You will have a multitude of questions when going through the adoption process on your own, but if you have a great lawyer, social worker, and counselor, it will be a much smoother process and you won't need an agency. The first and most important part of your team is your lawyer. It is recommended but not required that your lawyer has some prior experience with adoptions. The second part of your team is your social worker. Seek counsel from your lawyer when seeking out a social worker, since they will typically be able to give you a referral, especially if they've worked with private adoptions before. Your lawyer and social worker will also be working closely together, so make sure it's a good fit. Along with helping you complete your required home study, your social worker will help you properly manage your relationship with birth mom, which is a crucial part of the adoption process. The third part of your team is a trained counselor for you, your spouse, and birth mom. These counselors are specially trained to help guide you and the birth mom during and before and after the birth. For more information on private independent adoptions, please subscribe to my blog at easyadoptions.home.blog, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks and good luck.
Okay, so that's the how-to video. And as we scroll down, you can see multiple other blog posts. There's 8 to be exact, 2 of each as required. Here's my different pages. So I have home, the About Us page, which is just a video that tells a little bit about our story. An FAQ page, done through research of frequently asked questions with some good thought out answers. And then a contact me page. I have a few different sidebars and widgets. So I have a search bar. I have the subscribe to my blog with just a follow button. And then my social media links titled Follow Our Story. Change the different colors to blue using just a default template as well within WordPress. So that is the end of my blog presentation, and I hope you like it.